just picked up a zero clearance insert for my table saw. I'm going to go ahead and set it up for use and tell you why I decided to spend the money on it. This is my SawStop CTS. So I've had this since it first came out, so it's about 2 years old now. It's the only table saw I have. The way that I've dealt with the zero clearance since I got it and on previous table saws is I got this fast cap zero clearance strips. This is also true for the miter saw. And in a previous video, and if I can find it, I'll put it up here, but I actually made zero clearance inserts for my miter saw. This is a real high quality insert. There's metal, there's a lever, there's tabs, and there are, 7 inset screws to level it. So there's a lot going on here. And of course I haven't cut the kerf out yet. So you can understand why these are not inexpensive. I mean, there's a lot to it. It's not just a piece of wood. The main reason that I ordered this instead of making one was trying to figure out how to keep it down. With the miter saw, it has 6 screws from the top that I was able to reuse. So that one is actually physically attached. This one attaches with that lever, it drops in and then it locks. So you don't have to worry about it coming up. And if I make an insert, it wouldn't be hard to make it and fit and level it, but you know, I don't know how I would hold it down, and that's kind of a little bit of a safety issue in that, you know, when you're cutting and diving your blade up and down, you don't want it, you know, coming up. If you'd like to build a smart bench, a smart station, a smart cart, what both of these are mounted on, which makes them mobile, or any of the other smart tools that work with the smart system. For the smart wood shop itself, there is a link for plans for all of these individually or packages. If you purchase a set, within minutes, you'll get an email from us, and in that email, you'll find a link. Click on that link, and you can download the plans or packages of plans instantaneously, 24/7, 365. That's a testament to how good these strips are. With as long as I've been using it there, it's pretty thick stuff, and that sticky was not pulling up anywhere. This is the stock plate that came with the CTS, and you can see there's really no difference other than it's curved here. And I can't remember, it's possible this was not pre-curved. I'd have to go back and look, but this little hole in the bottom is there, so once I make this kerf through here, it's going to be the same as this one, although probably a little cleaner because this one has a little wear from a couple of years. Even with it all the way over, it doesn't seem to need any more space. In some of my other table saws, they had to be about twice as wide because the blade would tip over and take some of it out. Maybe they have that pivot point so that the blade will work set at 0. That's pretty impressive. I'm not sure I needed to spend the money on this. I did think that was odd that it looked like I had never made an angled cut. Mostly I use my track saw for that, but I thought I must have done that here and there. So I got to pay more attention to how I use my own tools, I guess. So I'm going to make a 45 cut here, and just to make sure that it works fine with this. I sure like how easy it is to change this from 0 to 45, and it has beyond and negative numbers as well. And it also has a dial for fine tuning it, so you can click it. If it's not quite 45, you can adjust it. The table saw, because the blade is coming up and cutting down, the tear out is going to be on the underside of your cut, and that's a clean cut. And this is just a standard combination blade. It's not a higher tooth ripping blade. This video was to talk about getting a zero clearance throat plate and making this cut through here. It's completely changed. Now I'm going to say that check your saw. If you've got a CTS, then you're not going to need one. Save the money. You don't need to make one, you don't need to buy one. This is as good whether I'm cutting all the way over beyond 45 or straight up and down at 0. This would come in handy if I were doing dados, because then I could set it up for dado cuts, because those are wider. You know, you got to go out to like 18 millimeters, 3/4, maybe a little bit beyond. And that would be really wide. And then when you were using your standard blade, it'd be too wide. But the CTS doesn't run a dado stack, so there isn't really any reason. So I'm not gonna cut this. I'm not sure if I can return it, but it's not gonna be any advantage to swapping them out. If I cut this, it's gonna be, it might be a little bit narrower, but not by enough to justify even taking the minute it takes to swap it out. This was not meant to be a promo or an ad or a boost for SawStop. In fact, I wasn't even going to mention it other than to say that, you know, it was a saw that I had that I'm using. But I do have to say that this is the best table saw that I have ever owned when I consider everything. And you're talking to a guy who has owned multiple big cabinet saws from Powermatic. I was a Powermatic fan back in the day. I had multiple big tools in my woodworking cabinet shop that were gold, big 5 horsepower motor, 52-inch Biesmeyer fence. I had a couple of those at one time in my shop, and others in other shops. It was the only cabinet saw I would buy back then. And for portable saws, I have had Bosch. I had 2 of those. Back when my crew in multiple trailers had a lot of tools. I had 2 of those on stands, pop-up Bosch stands. I've had multiple DeWalts, the 10-inch as well as the smaller one. I had the cordless DeWalt. I've had a couple of Makitas, some older Makitas. We're going back 2 decades, not anything current. And I've actually had 2 other SawStops, the Jobsite Pros, the Jobsite, the first one that came out, which I got serial number 1 of those because I always wanted the blade stop, but I needed a portable saw and nobody offered it until SawStop did. So I got the very first one, and then they, a year later or so, came out with the Jobsite Pro with a improved fence and some other things, and I grabbed that one. And I'll have to say overall, well, not overall, I will say that I like that saw better than this one, except it's bigger and heavier, and I don't need that. I do like the fence on it better, but that's the best fence I've ever owned, was the Jobsite Pro with that push button, thing squared up. What a beautiful fence. I wish the little CTS had that. In fact, that's the biggest drawback to this, is it goes to this kind of fence, like kind of similar to other brands like the DeWalt. It's fine, but it doesn't compare with the Jobsite Pro. But like I said, considering everything, for me in the smart wood shop, because of the physical size, the CTS is the saw of my choice. This little learning event, this education on the pivoting of this blade, after I've owned this saw and used it exclusively, it's my only table saw for 2 years, it just supports my experience that I've been getting with this. It's like it does 100% of what I need a table saw to do, and it's about as small as they get. It's not super light, but it's smaller so I can carry it. Hangs off the bench great. And like I said, the fence isn't my favorite, but it's very accurate. It's square. You know, it's solid. So it does what a fence should do. I dial in the rip that I want, and that's what I get. Although, if there is one negative to it, is that it's imperial only, and because I do a lot of metric, I wish that I had both, because a lot of times I'm dealing with metric and have to do the conversion. But that's going to be the same with any table saw. Hey, thanks for hanging out and learning this with me. I hope that, you know, the video was meant to be something totally different, and rather than delete it, you've got to come along and experience what I experienced, and hopefully there's something in here that a light will come on, or you'll figure out something, or, you know, maybe if you've got a CTS, you can save yourself a few bucks and don't worry about buying a zero clearance. If you found this video enjoyable, then be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, the most important thing you can do is share it with somebody else, help us grow the channel. In the comments down below, let me know what you thought about this process. If you've got any thinking on this, how this impressed you. Is your table saw, does it do this? Go check it out, and whatever brand it is, let's get a dialogue going down below. Let me know, is your Makita, your DeWalt, your Bosch, your Ryobi, whatever you got, is that blade centered, its pivot point, so that as it tips over, it doesn't move at all, that it goes right from that zero. Festool does the same thing with their track saw. That's why it's so nice to use. You don't have to move the track if you're going to tip it from 0 to any degree. It pivots. That's engineering. That's thinking about production in the field. And even though Festool owns SawStop now, SawStop was independent before that, and this is part of that company's design. So their engineering is up to snuff, and maybe that's why Festool purchased them. Mahalo for hanging out with me in the Smart Wood Shop.